Welcome to Our Way Home, Episode 4. The Day I Let Myself Be Ordinary. This is a space and place for the quiet work. The kind that doesn't rush to answers, the kind that listens before it speaks. In a world moving faster than our hearts can sometimes follow, this is a space to slow down, to notice what you're carrying and to remember what still belongs to you. Season 2 is about living honestly in a world that's changing quickly. We'll talk about poetry, about ordinary days and unfinished stories, about bodies that learn and tire and heal, about kitchens, classrooms, silence and song. In this season, we'll also acknowledge something new. We are all learning how to live with AI, not as a replacement for our humanity, not as an authority over our lives. Here it doesn't lead, it doesn't decide, it doesn't replace the human voice. Just simply walks alongside us like a lantern, offering light, but never the path. This isn't a show about becoming more, it's about remembering what's already here. You don't have to arrive anywhere, you don't have to fix anything, just stay. We'll walk the rest together. This is the day I let myself be ordinary. There was a day. Nothing dramatic happened. No argument, no revelation, no clear decision that changed the shape of my life. And that's why it mattered. I woke up tired. Not exhausted. Not broken. Just tired in the way that comes from carrying yourself carefully for too long. I made coffee. I did the dishes. I looked at the weather. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't ask myself how to explain my presence. I didn't prepare a defense. I didn't rehearse clarity. I just existed. For years, I thought ordinariness was a failure of ambition, that being neutral meant being absent, that choosing calm meant avoiding truth. But that wasn't true. Neutrality was survival, ordinariness was regulation, and stillness was the only place my nervous system felt safe enough to land. I had learned carefully, deliberately, how not to escalate, how to breathe through tension, and how to soften my voice instead of sharpening it. I learned how to apologize quickly, even when I wasn't sure what I was apologizing for. Not because I didn't care, but because I cared too much to become another source of harm. Somewhere along the way, being emotionally disciplined started to look like weakness from the outside. But inside, it was work. Real work. It took strength to stay centered when the room was spinning, to ask for space without accusation, to want peace without control. I didn't want to win conversations. I wanted us to be okay. And there's a cost to being the calm one, to being the translator, the emotional airbag, the person who absorbs impact so others don't have to. I started to notice it in my body first. The way my shoulders stayed lifted, even when I was alone. Silence felt safer than speech. And the way I decompressed before I come home. Because I needed to arrive already regulated. It wasn't withdrawing. I was protecting what was left of myself, and slowly, quietly, I began to realize something very painful. I felt more seen in silence than in conversation. And that's a hard truth to admit. Not because it blames anyone, but because it tells you something essential is missing. You see, the day I let myself be ordinary, I stopped performing emotional excellence. I stopped trying to be endlessly patient, understanding, and available. I let myself be a man doing the dishes. I let myself cry. And I let myself cry without turning it into a lesson. I let myself be the father I wanted to be, who didn't have the perfect explanation, but stayed present anyways. I let myself be human, without translating my needs into something more palatable. Ordinary didn't mean disengaged. To me, it meant honest. I've always been drawn to that space, the moment just before. You hear it often on this show. Before a snowflake lands or a child speaks, before a goodbye becomes final. For me, that's where truth lives, not in declarations. It's the pause. And for a long time, I lived in the noise. I focused on words when I should have been focusing on the space between. I was fixing, explaining, managing, but when I finally let myself be ordinary, I stepped back into that quiet space. I didn't want to disappear. I wanted to reemerge. I gave myself permission to reflect. I gave myself permission to use technology as a way to see myself, to reflect and think and discern where I am halfway through my life. In a world that asks us to optimize everything, I think AI can quietly reinforce the idea that we should always improve ourselves. It keeps trying to help me. But when I use it wisely, it can also become a place to rest some of our thoughts, a mirror for language, a space to hear ourselves think without interruption. AI doesn't need us to be exceptional. It reflects what we bring, exactly that. No more, no less. And sometimes what we need reflected back is permission to stop trying so hard. Plain and simple. Ordinary. So I hope today when you're listening to this, that maybe you find this moment ordinary too. I don't want you to give up. I want you to be ordinary. Ordinary as you are. Ordinary to stay kind. Ordinary to stay regulated and honest with yourself. You know, sometimes love isn't about holding on. It's about letting go with grace and trusting that truth is an act of care, even if it's for your ordinary self. And I want to thank you for being here, for listening this far, for staying with something quiet and real. Before you go, I'll leave you with one question, not to answer quickly, not to justify. Where in your life might being ordinary be the most honest thing you can offer right now? So again, thank you for being here. We'll walk the rest together. Please like, subscribe, follow, share this podcast. It is slow, it is intentional. It has pauses where I think pauses should go, right in the ordinary. If you like what you heard, please leave a comment. I always love to hear what's going on in your life and how this episode made you feel and how it impacted your life. So again, thank you for being here. Until next time.